Hello and welcome to another video tutorial on my channel. On this video I will show you how to sew different parts with this unicorn I made. I know that everyone hates the sewing parts, but it's part of the crochet amigurumi. I'm going to show you how to make the sewing invisible and symmetric so your end project will stay nice and clean. So the things that you need are a needle and some long pins, which you can order in many websites on the internet, such as AliExpress, eBay, and more. For some parts I'm going to use the pins, and for some parts I don't. So let's start. So the first part that I'm going to show you is how to sew a body to a head. Always leave the tail on the body. I find it easier. So take your needle and bring the end of the tail through like that. Now you need to place however you want it to be ended. So I want it like that. Make sure that the end of the tail is at the back of the head, like that. Now I'm going to use pins next to the tail. I prefer to put them on the right side, but you can also put them at the back side. So I take the pin and bring it through any stitch that's near the tail and straight into the body. Make sure that it still stays at the right place that you want it to be, and you hold it like that with your hands. So that's one. Take another one and go one stitch near that and bring it through the head. That's two. And one more. One stitch next to it and through the head, like that. Now we can start. So you take your needle, and the best way to make it invisible look is you go through the head at the right place that you want it to attach, and you go one stitch next to it and take out your needle. Now you go from the outside to the outside from the outside to the inside of the next stitch of the body, like that. And you go through the head and one stitch next to it. And you pull. You go next stitch of the body from the outside to the inside and straight into the body, one stitch apart, and you take the needle out of the head. Next stitch of the body from the outside to the inside, it's very important. Into the head and out of the head, one stitch near that. Don't worry, it stays at the right place because we have those pins here, so it won't move. That's how it looks like for now. Into the next stitch of the body and into the head, out of the head one stitch next to it. And you pull into the next stitch of the body, into the head, and out of the head one stitch next to it, and pull. Next stitch of the body, straight into the head and out of the head, one stitch next to it. Now when we get to the pins, most of it is closed, so it won't move again. You take the pins out, and the very important thing before you close, you must put some more stuffing only if it's open body or head. Otherwise it's already closed, and of course you don't need. And now you keep going and closing the small hole. So next stitch of the body, from the outside to the inside, straight into the head, one stitch between, and take it out. Next stitch, just do the same. And last one, straight into the head, and just bring it out from a different place. Now we're going to make it unable to open, so just do like that, and when you have a small loop here, just bring the needle through and pull. Now hide your yarn. Now you just cut it off, and here is the head attached to the body. Now I'm going to show you how to sew the legs. So you take one of the legs and you're going to bring it through your needle like that. Then you want to find the right place that you want them to go. I want them to be here. So I leave this one and I stay with this one. Now you need to make sure that the tail is at the corner, or this one, doesn't really matter. And then you want to take your needle into the body, and one stitch after you take your needle out, like that, and you pull. Now you go with your needle to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, like that, and you pull. Now you know exactly which row you are doing, so you just continue the same way in the same row. So you take your needle into the body and out of the body, one stitch apart. Now you take your needle back into the leg, one stitch after the last stitch we went with the needle through, and from the bottom to the top, like that. Now the needle into the same row of the body that you are doing, and out, next stitch next to it. Again, the needle into the next stitch of the leg. Make sure you take also the back stitch and also the front stitch, because there are two, and out like that. Into the body, one stitch in between, and pull. Last stitch of the leg from the back to the front, and bring your needle through the body. Oh, I think we have one more here. So again, just out of the body, one stitch next to it. No, that was the last one. So that's our leg. Now you want to make it unable to move, so bring the needle one stitch next to that and pull until you have a small loop here, and then you insert your hook into this loop and pull. Bring the needle into the body and out of a different place. Now you can just cut this piece. Now we made this one, looks perfect. Now you're going to work on the second one. So first, take your needle and the tail into the needle. Now you need to place your second leg at the same row that you did with your first leg. So here is the same leg, same row, and just hold it like that with your finger and bring the needle into the body. Make sure it stays at the right row, at the same row, and one stitch apart. Just take it out from the body and pull. Now again, the needle from the back to the front of the next stitch of the leg and pull. Just continue the same way as we did with the first leg. Just make sure you continue on the same exact row. So I will finish this one and we will move to the ears. By the way, the legs are just the same as the arms, so just do the same. So I just finished the legs. Now I will show you how we add the ears. So you take your ears and with the needle just choose one of the ears and bring the end of the tail through, like that. Then you want to place the ears. Okay, like that. So I leave the other one and I hold with my two fingers like that. Now I'm finding the tail and then I bring it straight into the head at the same place that I want it to go, and one stitch in between and bring it out. Now we know exactly where we want it to go, so we go into the first stitch, the front one and the back one at the same time, and just pull. Now into the body from the back to the front, one stitch between and pull. Now from the front to the back of the ear, and pull. And now into the body from the back to the front. Into the head. And pull. Again into the last stitch. From the front to the back of the ear. And into the head. Just find a different place. Pull. And now you want it to be unable to open, so bring your needle in the head, one stitch in between, and when you have a small loop, you bring your needle through, pull, and into the head out of a different place. So that's one ear. Take the second one and bring it through the needle like that. Now you need to make sure that you place it at the same row and exactly at the same place that you want it to be. Here. And now, again, you always need to make sure that the tail is at the end or from the right side or from the other side. So now, again, you take your needle into the head exactly at the same place that you want it to be and bring it out one stitch back and just pull. Now from the back go into the stitch and from the back to the front through the ear. Into the head at the same row and one stitch in between at the back of the head and pull. Now into the ear, next stitch to the front and you pull. Into the head from the front to the back, one stitch between and you pull. Last time into the ear, the last stitch from the back to the front and you pull. Now into the head, one stitch between out of the head and you pull. Now to make it unable to open, you bring the needle through, one stitch apart, bring it out, and when you have a small loop left, you bring your needle through. Oh, that already was in. So you just pull tight and hide the yarn into the head and out from a different place. So the ears are done. In some animals, the ears are fallen like dog or a rabbit, so you sew exactly like the legs also. Now I want to show you how to attach something that is a circle, I mean like a tail or this horn, which you need to go all over around and not flat. So I take this horn, the end of the tail through the needle, and now I want to place it just here. I will just turn it so it will be easier for me here with the end of the tail to start with. So you take your needle into the head exactly at the same place that you want it to be. Then just take it out from a stitch near that. Now we know exactly where we want it to be and it won't move. Now you go from the inside to the outside on the next stitch and pull. This way we attach and it will be sewn invisibly. Now straight into the head and one stitch next to it out of the head, like that. Now into the next stitch from the inside to the outside. Pull straight into the head and out of the head, one stitch near that. And you pull. Okay. Next stitch from the inside to the outside. I know it's not always easy to find the next stitch, but make sure you don't skip any. And now straight into the head and out of the head, one stitch next to it, and you pull into the next stitch from the inside to the outside, and you pull. Last stitch, you take your needle through the body, out of the body, and you pull. Now we still have this last one here. Go from the inside to the outside and pull. So here is our horn. Look, it's really hard to see that we sewn it. Now we want to hide the yarn. Just bring it into the head and out from a different place. When it's a different color from your head, just bring it through a stitch that you have another tail, and then you can sew them, make 2 knots together with the other one, and then you can hide the yarn and it will really stay safe and unable to open. Now you can just take your scissors and cut all those end tails we used and we still didn't cut. Just hide it with the end of the needle. Okay, so I hope it helped you, and good luck and see you next time. If you still didn't subscribe, please do if you liked it, and feel free to check my channel for many more tutorials. Bye bye.